Um, Hello and welcome to Hindustan Times Online, DC Martini. My name is Sandeep, and right now I have with me Mr. Abir Sengupta. Hello, Abir, and welcome to the podcast.
Hi Sandeep, hi.
Hi. Abir, you've got to take me to the beginning, as in how it all began, and today where you are.
You want to take you through my journey or the journey of
Yes,
movie?
through your journey, as in, I think, your debut film was Bhute Raja Dilo, no, Jome Raja Dilo.
You are, yes.
Yeah, so from there, from the Bengali film industry to Bollywood, how did the change happen? What were the obstacles, if any, and today where you are?
So actually, the biggest obstacle for me was to make my first film, which was Jome Raja Dilapur, the Bengali film that released in 2015. Before that, I actually used to be a television writer. I used to write for TV shows like Savdhan India and CID
Okay.
and a lot of other TV shows.
So
But
you
then
mean to say you were here in this part of this part of the country?
yes, absolutely, absolutely. I was always in Bombay. I went to
Okay.
Calcutta.
What actually took you back to Kolkata?
Oh, nostalgia, complete nostalgia. Because as a Bengali, I would really go. I would be the first day first show audience to all the Bengali films releasing in Bombay, and
Acha, okay.
yeah, I was like,
Okay.
मुझे भी बांग्ला film बनाना है. I want to make a Bengali film. I'm a Bengali and I'm Bengali at heart. And two things: nostalgia and food. Being a Probashi Bengali living in Bombay, you don't really get to, and living away from your family,
Exactly.
you don't really get to eat that typical Bengali food every day, and you crave for that. And
Absolutely.
then I thought, "Ki, acha, okay, if I go to Calcutta, if I make a film over there, then I get to stay in Bengal, I get to eat in Bengal, I get to make a film in Bengal." So yeah, all odds were like working out. So I thought, chalo, why not? And then magically a story happened to me, and I thought of this story called Jumeraja Dilubar. It was a rom-com, and then it all began from there. That I wrote a script, and I decided that I will not write for TV anymore, and I will try and make this film happen. And fortunately, my business partner, who that time was my writing partner also, she really believed in the script, and she was like, "We should make it happen." And she was instrumental in getting the film made in terms of getting the funding in place and all of that. And she decided to produce the film as well. So I actually got a producer who was always with me since my writing days. So it was easy for her to believe in me. It was easy for her to give me that backing and to get the funding. And
Mhm.
we were in Calcutta and we were making the film. And it all began from there. I think Jome Raja Dilopar was also kind of my film school because I've never been to a film school. So while
Okay.
making that film, I actually learned how to probably make film. And
Are you kidding me?
yeah,
While so you're saying that you learned on the job, but
of
then
course.
didn't you really assist anybody, or didn't you really?
No,
You
no,
were not
no,
an assistant to anybody.
no.
How did you? फिर कैसे हुआ? I just wanted. I'm very curious. How did you get into the scene?
I think it's magical. I think I consider myself very lucky in terms of getting to be a filmmaker. It really actually, very frankly, I was sitting outside this cinema theater one day, and I had decided to quit writing television, and I was waiting for a friend to come and watch a movie with, and there was a couple right in front of me. They were having a quarrel, and the girl was telling this guy that तुम लड़कों में ना सिर्फ तुम लोगों में सिर्फ बॉडी होता है, तुम लोगों में ना सोल नहीं होता, तुम्हें आत्मा नहीं होती. I'm like, oh, this is an interesting line. And then I picked up that line and I wrote a story around that. And that was the story of my Bengali film, Jo Mera Jagdilu. And when I narrated it to my business partner Anushri, and when she took me to a investor producer, and when he heard it, both of them actually got really emotional after hearing that story, and they were like, we need to make this film and we need to make it happen. And I was the one who was a little less confident, and I said that, okay, let's get a great director on board, because I think
Okay.
this script needs a good director. But both of them looked at me and they told me, you narrated it so well, you can see it so clearly, why don't you direct it? And I was like, really, I can't direct, I don't know how to direct. And but somehow they had that unflinching faith in me, which I actually did not have in myself, to be very honest. And they decided to produce the film, and I was in Calcutta, and magically we ended the shooting in 25 days, and we had a 2 hour film, 2.5 hour film, and that really got me some good reviews once it released. And after it released, I actually realized that कुछ तो सही कर रहा हूँ, थोड़ा बहुत आता है, लोगों ने देख के पसंद कर लिया, तो आगे काम कर सकते हैं, आगे फिल्में बनानी चाहिए. So that's when it all began.
Right. So tell me, talk to me about your writing phase, as in when did it begin, and how long has it been that you've been writing for television, and you finally decided, why did you decide to quit in the first place?
So I never came here to write for TV because that really did not interest me. Not that I looked down upon the medium, but my love towards television was when I was in my childhood, when in these in early 90s, when we used to have those beautiful shows on Doordarshan, and
Hmm.
that was TV for me. Like मुझे लगता है कि वो TV खत्म हो गया. फिर एक point के बाद TV बहुत बदल गया. But when I came to Bombay, and I realized that I want to write. I want to write for the screen, be it TV, be it films, be it anyone, be it any medium. And I wrote a couple of crime shows initially. My first show that I wrote was Surya the Super Cop, which was on Sony Television, and Harsh Chaya was the main protagonist in that. And while writing that, I figured that crime is not something that I'm really interested in doing.
Hmm.
And I was also not very interested in writing the daily soaps, because I realized that it is too demanding, and I was a very lazy writer to fulfill those demands. And episodics were majorly crime shows. And then I was like, okay, where do I find my space? I wanted to write these light-hearted slice of life romantic movies and romantic scripts, and I realized TV is not my space. I need to move out and do something and write something else. That's when actually I decided to quit TV. But it took me almost a year to act on that decision. And I'm glad that my first Bengali movie actually took me out of where I was, and gave me a new start. And then there has been no looking back.
So tell me a little bit about your struggling phase. Once you come down to Bombay and you're in a different place altogether, you are actually trying to carve a niche of yourself in the industry, television industry for that matter.
So
Or first break, kaise mila? How did you go? And I'm sorry.
I actually had two struggling phases. One before the
Okay.
Bengali film and one after the Bengali film. Uh,
Acha.
because
Okay.
during the Bengali film, I actually moved to Calcutta for a year. So
Hmm.
people in
Hmm.
Bombay really forgot me. That okay, there used to exist this guy who used to write and used to wanted to make a film.
Okay, I see.
So yeah, so the first struggling phase was I was clueless when I came to Bombay. I just knew one thing, that I'm madly in love with movies, and I want to write. I want to write for the screen. And that's when I started my struggle. But I didn't have any formal education in terms of the writing side of it. No screenplay writing ka course, no na koi dialogue writing ka course. Kuch aisa kiya nahi tha. And then somebody told me that there's a book that you should read on screenplay writing called Save the Cat. And I bought that book, and I read that book, and that book really helped
What's
me
the
out.
name of the book?
The name of the book was Save the Cat by Blake
Save
Snyder.
the Cat. Okay.
Yeah. So that book really helped me. And after reading the book, I was really interested in the craft of screenplay writing. And uske baad, then I wrote a lot of stuff. I started pitching to a lot of people. People were not interested. People were either like, tumne pehle kya likha hai, and this is not something up our alley. They had different reasons to obviously tell me that I won't get the job. But somehow this production house, Fireworks Productions, who produced CID and a lot of other crime shows, they really had faith in me. They liked me. They hired me as a permanent writer in their company, and
So
that's
you
when
directly went down to the office.
no, actually, I read a post on Facebook. Somebody had put up a post on Facebook.
Okay.
They're looking for new writers and fresh writers, and I should go and approach. And so I sent them a story, and they liked that story. And
Wow, that's like you hitting the bull right in the eye.
yeah, actually. So they called me, and then in that interview, I went really well, and I worked there for a year.
Okay,
And
so there was a formal interview, you mean?
Yes, there was a formal interviewing after that. Then they gave me another story in that interview. They wanted me to develop that story. I developed that story, and the next day again I went and met them, and they liked my development, and that's when they hired me. And I actually
Okay.
worked with them for a year. After that, I realized that I want to freelance. I don't want to do a job, and then I wrote a lot of shows. So that's how the writing journey really began. But the real struggle actually began when I decided that I won't write for TV anymore, and I want to make movies. But
Okay.
again, I was back to square one. I realized that I have not assisted anybody. I have not written any film before. I have never been to a film set before. So how is somebody supposed to put in that uh, those amount of money and that faith in me to for me to make a film? And that's when I decided that okay, let's explore the opportunity of assisting a director. And I possibly would have written messages and emails to almost every director in Bollywood, but I actually did not get a reply from anyone. So I realized, okay, nobody's going to hire me. Nobody's. I need to do something else. And then I actually decided, okay, let me write a script. Let me
Hmm.
write a story which I want to say. And then magically, I this incident happened with me wherein I overheard this couple fighting, and I wrote the script of Jo Me Raja Dilo Baur. But I realized that this.
So you're saying that you wrote that script, Jomi Raja Dilo War, in Bombay, and
Yeah.
then you went back to Calcutta.
Yes, yes. And my producers were from Bombay. They are from Bombay. I didn't have to go and find producers in Calcutta.
Okay, I see. I see.
Yeah, so I actually wrote the script in Bombay, and after writing that script, I realized that this can't be made in Hindi right now. It's a much bigger scale, and मतलब वैसे मुझे फिल्म लिखने का अपॉर्चुनिटी तो मिल नहीं रहा है, डायरेक्ट करने का इतनी बड़ी फिल्म में मांगूंगा तो कोई देगा ही नहीं. So
Hmm.
then I thought कि why not make it in Bengali? And things really fell in place. My business partner took me to this investor producer Pratik, and they both really believed in it, and they both decided to produce it, and that's when the film got made. But after the film actually released, and I got some great reviews, and people still write letters to me on Facebook and on social media, and how they like the film and how they love the film and all of that. But after I came back from Calcutta, I realized that a lot of people in the TV industry where I used to work, they used to tell me that, acha, you went to Calcutta, no, you made a film, why you back? You should be there. You should be making movies. But I was like, no, I just went to Calcutta because I had a story which I wanted to make in Bengali. But I
Hmm.
actually don't want to make Hindi movies because I come from Hindi heartland. I'm I'm born and brought up in Ranchi. I've stayed in Delhi, so I've always
Okay.
been a Prabashi Bengali, and I wanted to make Hindi movies. That's the language I'm comfortable in, and that's when the struggle really began. And it took me almost 5 years to get another film on the map of a release date.
You have definitely taken huge strides from that phase, from that phase in your life, because today you are actually coming. Today, firstly, one of the songs of the film, Indoo Ki Jawaani,
Right, right,
released.
right.
How does it feel, and how I mean, how would you actually, if you had to demarcate certain areas in your career, how would you do that? Perhaps the highs and lows. Then.
So, like I told you, my first film released in 2015 September, and September has been a massive month this year also. And not just Indoo Ki Jawaani's song, but also a short film that I made, Soul Sathi, also released on.
Soulmates.
Yeah, Soul Sathi is the name of the film.
Soul Sati.
Yeah,
Right.
it's on Soulmates actually. So that also
There's
released.
Ada Sharma.
That has Ada Sharma. Yes,
Yeah.
that released on Monday on Eros now, and now Hindu Ki Jawani का एक गाना आज today it has released. So September has been a great month, and अभी
The lockdown has been particularly very fruitful for you.
yeah, actually
For
I
a
actually
change, at
did a lot
least.
of work. Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. So yeah, so I think 5 साल का वेट वर्थ इट था. एक साथ दो दो पिक्चरें, एक बाहर आ गई, एक शॉर्ट फिल्म बाहर आ गई, एक फीचर फिल्म बाहर आने वाली है.
Hmm.
So it's been exactly like 5 years, and the same September is repeating itself in a different and a better way altogether. So I'm really happy. I'm very happy. I'm looking forward.
Wow, very beautiful. The same September is repeating itself in a better way. It's a very poetic kind of a thought, though. All right. So what I want to ask you right now is, you've got to tell me a little bit about Indoo Ki Jawaani. How did that come to pass? And what you actually had in mind when you were actually writing the script, and then later on how things actually went ahead.
So I actually wrote the script back in 2018, November, December, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, November, December 2018 was when I actually wrote the script, and I happened to bump into one of my producers, Ryan, at a coffee shop, and he generally asked me that, because I'd been meeting him since so many years, because he used to work with Dharma, and I used to go there to pitch scripts to him, and he always really liked me and liked my writing, but now never nothing really worked out that
Hmm.
time. But that day when I bumped into him, he just candidly asked me, "What are you working on these days?" And I happened to just to take a feedback from him, I narrated that one-liner of Indoo Ki Jawaani to him, and he really got excited on that. He's like, "What's the situation? Have you written the script?" I'm like, "Yeah, the script is ready. I'm finishing. I'm doing some final touches in it." And he's like, "Narrate the film to me." And I actually narrated it to him and his business partner Niranjan Iyengar, and both of them really liked it, and they really thought that I should take it to MA Entertainment, which is the Nikhil Advani and Monisha Advani, Madhu Bhojwani's production house. And they took me there, and they all, actually five of them, when they were sitting in that room and I had read the film out to them, they loved the film, and they immediately told me that they want to produce the film. So it really happened quickly. Like, I finished the film in November, December, and I think January, February, I had them agreeing to the film. So then 2019, I also shot the film. So
Wow, great, lovely.
yeah,
It actually feels good to hear somebody, achieving whatever he or she has dreamt of achieving in the Tinsel town, especially in this phase when there are so many negative stories that are swirling all around you.
I know.
And the media is literally replete with all sorts of, negativity for
No, I think
that.
we should find the positivity in wherever we
Exactly.
can find it from. Yes.
All right. Okay. So you've got to tell me what was perhaps one of the most difficult parts. I mean, it is a sweet film, Indoo Ki Jawaani. But again, when you're talking about a director, and you've written the script and everything. Firstly, were there any interferences as in, like, were there any changes made to the script when you perhaps pitched to them or something of
We
that sort?
always make changes to the script. I think everybody wants the betterment of the film, and everybody, and since there were so many creative people in the producers, this thing also, because Niranjan himself is an awesome writer. He's a lyricist. He's a great screenplay writer. Nikhil is a prolific director. So it was really helpful for me that, in my first Hindi film I had such very very talented and very learned professionals backing me in terms of
Hmm.
creatives and in terms of production. So that really helped. And but actually, to be very honest, they actually really loved what I had written.
Hmm.
So they used to always tell me that, this piece of these 100 pages that you have is really really nice. So we should stick to it and make the film as it is.
Okay, so you just gave out the duration of the film. It's a 1 hour 40 minutes film.
No,
100 pages, you said.
100 pages, not 100 minutes.
Okay, 100 pages. So that's one page is one shot.
Oh no, that's not the calculation. Every filmmaker has a different calculation. I made a 17-minute short film out of 9 pages script,
Oh, okay. Wow.
which was Sol Sathi. So it really depends. It really
Hmm.
depends on the kind of treatment that you do. My Bengali film was a 120-page script, but the final cut of the film was around 145 minutes. So
Oh, okay.
you can't really actually calculate what actually can it only comes down to the edit table. Once you have this footage with you, you know what to cut, what to not.
Absolutely, absolutely. So tell me, Abir, firstly, I mean, not firstly, tell me, I mean, how exactly the lockdown has been treating you, and what have you been doing in this lockdown besides all of these releases that you've lined up?
So the lockdown has been really productive for me here. I finished the almost finished, I would say, the post production of Indoo Ki Jawaani during the lockdown. We edited the film during the lockdown. uh,
Acha.
all of that happened. We actually did a lot of sound post production during the lockdown. The short film that I made, Soul Sathi, that also was the post production of that was finished during the lockdown. There's another short film coming out that I am a creative producer of. So that also finished during the lockdown, which is again will air in a week's time on Eros now
Okay.
itself. And there's another web series that actually we produced. Like I wrote and directed, and my company also produced it. So
Wow.
that's going to come on a leading platform sometime end of the year. So that really happened during the lockdown. I wrote three new scripts during the lockdown.
Wow.
Yeah, so the lockdown has been great. I got a lot of time to do a lot of things.
So you actually meaning to say that दोनों हाथ कढ़ाई में और मतलब दोनों हाथ तो है ही सिर भी कढ़ाई में.
हाँ मैं
So
पूरा ही
that kind
करने
of
में व्यस्त
situation.
हूँ इस वक्त.
Right. All right. Okay. My final question to you is: when you were working with Kiara, and one very important question that I have is, in the media there are numerous of stories swirling around that Indoo Ki Jawaani is going to release in theaters and it's going to be one of the first films to release in theaters. Is that actually going to happen? Because nowadays with the pandemic and the subsequent lockdown, no one quite knows the theaters are going to reopen.
So that's you actually answered the question yourself. It's very uncertain. It's the time of pandemic, and we don't know what's going to happen. Nothing is decided yet, and so the thing is that we were extremely excited, and that's probably the reason why the producers wanted to show some excitement to people also, and that's when they got the song out. So
Got it.
yeah.
Okay. All right. My final question to you is, Abir, uh, when you were shooting Indoo Ki Jawaani, firstly, how was your camaraderie with the actors, and what was perhaps one of the most challenging facets of directing the film, or parts of directing the film? Which one did you find was which part did you find was really difficult for you to shoot as a director, or perhaps explaining a particular scene to your actors for that matter?
Actually, the most challenging part was not shooting any particular sequence, but actually I can't really reveal that to you right now. I can
Okay.
only say that the most difficult part for me was to actually decide that this script would be my first Hindi film. That was really difficult for
Okay,
me.
so that means there are so many other scripts already written, and they are all bound scripts, I'm assuming, which have been completed. And this is that one script that you actually thought that this would be the first Hindi film, and you were on tenterhooks about that.
No, no, not in that way. You're right on that part that yeah, there are a lot of scripts that are already written. I am a content bank. I call myself a content bank, but at the same time, that was not the dilemma. The dilemma was that because the content of the film has certain things in it wherein a lot of people would not really want to make that though that particular content to be their first Hindi film. People generally choose very safe ideas, very safe
Acha,
slide.
acha.
So that there are a lot of things. So and I really was passionate about this story. So somehow I was like, okay. And apart from the story, also the kind of the way the script was, the way the script was, it was fun writing it. But after I wrote it, I knew that this is going to be really tough making it, and the decision is going to be tough making it. So I
Mm-hmm.
think once people watch the film, they'll realize that what exactly I am hinting towards. And when probably we have a trailer or something out, then I can probably speak more about this background.
Right, right, absolutely. Okay, and the other part of my question is, what exactly? How was your camaraderie and the relationship that you and your actor shared with each other on the sets, and how things were happening and all of that?
Oh, lovely. That was right, actually right from the very beginning. Both the actors, Aditya, even the other actors like Malika and all the other people in the film. I had a great equation with them. And I think it's majorly because of the script, because I really can't. मुझे वो बातें बातें इतना करना आता नहीं है मुझे कोई मिलेगा तो मैं बैठ के पहले कहानियां सुना दूंगा उसको तो यही हुआ एंड शायद बिकॉज ऑफ द स्क्रिप्ट दे
और ये कहानी सबसे पहले किसको सुना है? I mean, besides Niranjan Iyengar and his partner, besides them,
you mean
actors
to say
में किस?
actors Kiara was the first one to
Okay, okay.
get the narration.
So this happened after you had zeroed in on the actors, or the production house had already zeroed in on the actors?
Yeah. So once I was already signed on with them, then that's when we met Kiara, and uh,
Acha, okay.
she actually came on board, and then Aditya came on board, Malika came on board, and everybody really were really happy with the script. Like that was
Okay.
I was very happy that all the actors who were coming in, even actors who did like small parts in the film, like one एक दिन का दो दिन का भी जिन लोगों ने part किया, एक scene दो scene का
Hmm.
जिन लोगों ने काम किया, I still have a great equation with them. So that's something, and I think not just the actors, but I had a great team in the film. I had so many producers backing me in the best possible way. I had a great technical team, my DOP, my production designer, the stylist, and all of that, and my direction team. I was actually blessed with an entire uh, bunch of very passionate cast and crew. So nothing better could have asked for my first film. So
Absolutely. And I also have my fingers crossed that Indoo Ki Jawaani really does well. And I
yeah,
wish that your career goes great guns after this film, Abhi.
thank you so much. Thank you so much, Sandeep.
You're welcome. So with that, we come to the end of this lovely conversation with Abir Sengupta, a very new and a budding filmmaker in Bollywood. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Sandeep with In the Sun Times Online, DC Martin. Thank you so much.